These are from the time I found the secret of Monkey Island. I started my voyage at the Scum Bar, but right away I could tell it wasn't going to be like old times. In some quarters, my reputation was a disadvantage. The new pirate leaders were focused on sacking and pillaging, but plunder stats aren't everything. I learned more than I ever wanted to know about mops. I made the unusual decision to join LeChuck's crew as a way to get to Monkey Island. Serving on LeChuck's ship was an interesting experience. I grew to like the crew. I forgot all about looking like a zombie and starting a mutiny and seizing the ship. My disguise held up great, right up until we were nearing Monkey Island, when there was a failure. Gullet was my supervisor. Not a very pleasant guy. I got thrown off the ship, but that was okay. I'd gotten as far as I needed to. The actual return to Monkey Island was not what I expected. We all thought the secret would be on the island somewhere. Everybody had a map, some more useful than others. Elaine and I rebuilt my old ship, the Sea Monkey, so we could sail back to Melee. The temporary pact I made with my enemies turned out to be about 5 minutes more temporary than I had hoped. It was a race to get to the secret first. I hunted down all 5 golden keys. I wonder if I was supposed to keep these. LeChuck teamed up with Madison, but that was never going to last. Madison was scheming to betray LeChuck. Lila was scheming to betray Madison and LeChuck. I'm not sure Trent ever thought very far ahead. Whitey Bones told me all about the golden keys. Elaine had a lot on her plate, but she was with me in the end. Carla handled earthquake relief as best she could under the circumstances. I broke Stan out of prison. Wally was kidnapped. The voodoo lady disappeared. I unseated the reigning queen to become the last queen of Bermuda. I visited Herman Toothrot in his cozy hermit cave. I managed to recover the secret, but then LeChuck stole it and took it back to Monkey Island to open it. We chased LeChuck back to Monkey Island again, and I tracked him down. Elaine held off Flare Gory while I went into the monkey. Someone had devised a series of themed pirate monkey puzzles to keep out the unworthy. I made this mock-up of the final puzzle. I think it's pretty neat. I found Wally! Oh shoot, I wonder when this fell out. Wait, what's this?
June 18th, 2020. Development won't start for another month or so, but we've been thinking about this for a while. It seems like a good time to jot down a few thoughts and then stash them away as a sort of time capsule message for the future selves about what we are setting out to do with Return to Monkey Island. Who knows, we might learn something. Monkey Island has historically been a reflection of the lives of the people who made the games. The secret of Monkey Island was about a young person setting out to pursue an exciting new career. As designers in our 20s, that is what we all were. The sequel, LeChuck's Revenge, was in many ways about the difficulties of making a sequel, or at least about what one does immediately after something that felt like a great success, but which went unnoticed by most of the world at large. Many years, 20, later, after Guybrush had gone on a couple of adventures with other teams who had their own hopes and challenges, we set out to make Tales of Monkey Island as a story about trust, as it is. But what jumps out most for us is that it feels like a story about grown-ups. Because that's what we were, many of us in our 40s by then, with children and lives and a lumpy encrusted layer of experience. We are well into our 50s now, we've had lengthy careers, we have made a lot of games. But Monkey Island still defines us to a certain degree, or at least in the minds of many, we are those guys who made that game a long time ago. And it feels like there's some unfinished business there. When the opportunity arose to come back to Monkey Island, we were pretty much on the same page as what to do, as to what we wanted to do. Guybrush, like us, is older now, and he's had a long and reasonably successful career. but Woody is mostly associated with something that happened a long time ago, and that feels unfinished to him. The game is a goofy pirate adventure, the same as always, but also it's a story about trying to recapture the past with all its alleged useful strengths and glory. Guybrush will both succeed and fail at this. He will sort of get what he wants, but it won't be what he expected. I predict the same for us. Ron Gilbert und der andere, dessen Name wir schon vergessen haben, weil es 20 Jahre her ist. Note to self, get more paper for the rest of my adventures.